And that's what I'm going to start with first. That each one of us was put on this earth with a special child to raise. And as I'm going to read one quick little thing from Irma Bombeck that was a columnist that she wrote something back in 1980. And it became very, very near and dear to me as a mom as I raised Tyler that died with morquio at age 23. And if my voice cracks, kind of bear with me. There is one spot in this that still has cracked me up for 30 years. Most women become mothers by accident, some by choice, a few by social pressures, and a couple by habit. This year, nearly 100,000 women will become mothers of handicapped children. Did you ever wonder how mothers of handicapped children are chosen? Somehow I visualize God hovering over earth, selecting his instruments as propagation with great care and deliberation. As he observes, he instructs his angels to make notes in a giant ledger. Armstrong, Beth, son, patron saint Matthew. Forrest, Marjorie, daughter, patron saint Cecilia. Rutledge, Harry, twins, patron saint, give her Gerard. He's used to profanity. Finally, he passes a name to an angel and smiles. Give her a handicapped child. The angel's curious. Why this one, God? She's so happy. Exactly, smiles God. Could I give a handicapped child a mother that does not know laughter? That would be cruel. But has she patience? Asked the angel. I don't want her to have too much patience, or she will drown in a sea of self-pity and despair. Once the shock and resentment wears off, she'll handle it. I watched her today. She has that feeling of self and independence. She'll have to teach her child to live in the world that's not going to be easy. But Lord, I don't think she believes in you. God smiles. No matter, I can fix that. This one is perfect. She has just enough selfishness. The angel gasps. Selfishness? Is that a virtue? God nods. If she can't separate herself from the child occasionally, she'll never survive. Yes, there is a woman I would bless with a child, less than perfect. She doesn't realize it yet, but she is to be envied. She'll never take for granted a spoken word. She'll never consider a step ordinary. She'll be present at a miracle when her child says, Mama, and she'll know it when she describes a tree or a sunset to her child that could be blind. She'll see it as few people ever see my creations. I will permit her to see clearly the things that I see, ignorance, cruelty, prejudice, and allow her to rise above them. She will never be alone. I'll be at her side every minute of every day. She is doing my work, and as surely as she is here by my side. And what about her patron saint? Asked the angel. His pen points in midair. God smiles. A miracle suffice. We were all put here, and we were all handed special children. I don't think they were handicapped. They have physical limitations that as they go through life, we each have to face a whole bunch of things that we don't want to have to look at. They do have to fit into our world. We have to be the ones to push them to get them to the next step. They're small. For the younger parents, when they're little, they're cute. Everybody thinks they're wonderful. And when they start school, everybody loves them. You know, here you've got this extremely small child. And everybody thinks they're just adorable. Well, they are. But a 12-year-old that can't read or write is not adorable. There's nothing cute about it. So they have to fit into our world as they grow. Tyler had a huge personality. And he was one of those kids that he could be extremely lazy, or he was like the life of the party and would go and do. He had special words for me that he called me, and they weren't real happy things that I would think. He called me the child torturer, Mommy Dearest, and Attila the Hun. The reason is because you have to push. we would push and push and push. Tyler had a C1-2 fusion in 1994. From there, he did really well, and early 2000s, he was going to have his hips redone. The doctor that we were seeing died, and so it just kind of left us in an uproar as to, okay, what do we do? So I was a single parent at that time. I had divorced, and so it was Tyler, my middle daughter, and my oldest daughter that had cerebral palsy. So there's only so much that you can juggle as a single parent. But everything was going pretty well, so we just kind of rode along. Well, Tyler always, our best conversations were on the bathroom sink. For whatever reason, that was when he would decide that he could open up and talk. So I'm sitting, I had him on the sink one day, and he was sitting there, and he looked and he said, I can't feel my toes. I was like, what? I can't feel my toes. Oh, I said, no, get down. You know, let's go with this. So I looked, and sure shoot, he couldn't feel his toes. Grabbed hold of it, and I was like, which toe have I got hold of? I don't know. It's like, okay, I know what this means. I'm an RN, and so things start flashing through that we have all been told as to how things are going to go as life progresses with life of morquio. He was still walking, but he couldn't walk through the grass. We ended up coming up to Johns Hopkins and discovered his back he was having a lot of compression. He had also started getting incontinent urine. He still had bowel function, however, everything was kind of going, he couldn't walk good. We used a skateboard in the house for him to get around. We decided that would be easier. I got a potty chair that he could use when I wasn't at the house, so that he could use that. And we just kind of adapted everything. He came up, he had surgery, horrible, horrible surgery. He was one of the worst that the department head of Johns Hopkins told that they had ever seen to try to intubate. The surgery was supposed to start at 8 a.m. We kept sitting in the waiting room, in the surgery waiting room, waiting for him to come out. And they told us they would call us when surgery started. At 2 o'clock that afternoon, Dr. Brown came out and said, we finally got him intubated. At that point, it was like, what? He said, it was not. I've never seen anything like this before in my life. This was the most severe morquio that we've ever had. However, he came out of the surgery, but we landed in ICU for 5 days. It was supposed to be an overnight stay in ICU. It was 5 days. He progressed. Finally, just all of a sudden, he turned the corner, started walking, and walking with the walker, and working on everything, doing everything back that he had been doing previously. Did that within a year. On the bathroom sink again, he's like, I can't feel my fingers all. You know, you sit and it's like, please don't, we just got through, we're not even all the way through this one surgery. And now you can't feel your fingers? It's like, okay, Tyler, shut your eyes and let's see what you can do. Close his eyes. I'm pinching the dog snot out of his finger. And I'm like, which finger have I got? He's like, I don't know. I don't know. So we started on the trek again, and this time we were sure. We knew, okay, now we're into his neck. At this time also, when he was walking, his head was going back. He was holding his head back. Well, at first I thought, okay, he's just kind of balancing himself because the front of him's going, he's with the walker, and he was doing this. He was already having trouble breathing, that the respiratory failure had started. We did flexion and extension MRIs of his neck, and come to find out his neck was slipping. So that's what was causing the numbness. Well, they told us, here's the surgical course Tyler's going to get. We're going to take him in, we're going to do a trach. We're going to trach him. Then once we get him stabilized there, then we're going to go in and we're going to fuse his entire cervical spine. A trach would have been a nightmare. And not to mention fusing the cervical spine, because if they fused him, they would have fused him going up and down. He would have been in good position. Well, Tyler couldn't breathe in good position. He was like this, trying to breathe and straighten his trachea out to get the air in. So when they told us what we were looking at, we were told he's going to die if you don't have this stuff. So I'm looking at my almost 18-year-old at this point, and it's like, here's going to be here's your surgical course. What do you want to do? It's your life. We'll do whatever it is you want to do. Tyler looked up and he said, Mom, if they try to put me to sleep again, they're going to kill me this time. He said, they almost killed me the last time. They'll kill me this time. He said, I told you, no more surgeries. I'm done. So I was like, okay, we're going to take our chances and we're going to live the best that we can live. Then Tyler piped up and he said, there's two things I want to do. I said, okay, we'll do whatever. And he's like, one, I want to be rebaptized. Okay, we can do that. He said, second, I want to donate my body for morquio research. Well, you just kind of gasp when that's something like that. That's like way over here, and it's like, you don't want to think about your child dying regardless, but then for them to pop up and say, I want my body donated. So I got in touch with Dr. Tomatsu. This started our trail of talking, trying to get, okay, we know this is coming. Tyler had hospice. All of a sudden, hospice quits. And Tyler's upset, and he's like, I just don't understand why the nurses had to quit. I don't understand. He said, I like them coming in the list. I said, this is a good thing. This is a wonderful thing. I said, the alternative meant you're going to be gone. I said, nope. I said, you outlived hospice. I said, so it means we will keep going. So he kept plugging. Tyler loved life.
May I have your attention, please? The pneumatic tube system is down for maintenance. Please use downtime procedures. Again, pneumatic tube system is down for maintenance. Please use downtime procedures. Thank you.
I think we need tube system. So we started talking with Dr. Tomatsu. Life went on. We went ahead and it was like, okay, Tyler was active. He was active in everything that he could possibly get his hands on. That he was a cheerleader. He was the basketball manager. He did a little bit of everything. He was getting to where the numbness was progressing and he couldn't walk. So he ended up getting a power chair, which at first I thought it's like, no, you have to walk. You have to walk. I don't care what you do. You have to walk. Well, he kept insisting, I can't walk. I can't feel my feet. Can't feel anything. So it's just like, okay, whatever. So put him in the power chair, and here he goes. It's the best thing I could have ever done in my life, was to let that child have a power chair, because it gave him the independence that he needed. He loved going to school. He loved doing the outings. Tyler loved life, bigger than anything. But we knew he was going to die. We were in Hawaii, and we're in the room at night, and his mom's and his dad's, you can hear things that you normally don't hear any other time. And so he's sleeping, and all of a sudden, you can hear him breathing. He's in the other bed, and all of a sudden, there's dead silence. And I'm like, oh no. And so I laid there, and I started counting, and it's like, okay, how long are you not going to breathe? And all of a sudden, get back up, and you breathe, just continued right on, and a little bit later, there's dead silence again. And so as a parent, you're laying there, it's like, okay, we're not going to get upset with this because we know what the outcome's going to be. We're not going to do a lot of heroics because we know where it's going. And how much do you put somebody through? You don't. You know, it was his life, but everything progressed. Just the numbness continued. He ended up being numb from the chest down. His head was hyperextended back so far, I don't know that it could have gone any further, that he literally lay on the back of his shoulders. He lost bowel control. He did not lose bowel control. For whatever reason, he maintained that. He did lose urine control, bladder. And he first started out, he said, I'm sweating. I'm just sweating. And it's like, no, Tyler, that's urine. That's urine. I'm sorry. So here we go. We're in diapers. You know, you've got a 19, 20-year-old that now is in diapers. Well, the best thing, and I say the best thing about that he had morquio was that he was still in children's diapers. Because if y'all have a price of diapers, they're expensive. And when you start trying to put an adult in diapers and to get them, it's a whole big another issue because we didn't qualify for anything. You know, I work. There's nothing, mentally he's perfectly okay. There's nothing wrong. It's just his physical body doesn't work. But it continued to grow, and the breathing issue was louder and louder and louder. Where you could hear him breathing all night long. And it was this constant raspy, loud respiration that there's no way to describe how it sounded. But you could hear him throughout the house. And so we just kind of cringe, and at the same time, it's like you have to stay as functional as you can be because you can't stop. You can't stop. So it became more and more apparent. I had to have help come into the house to help because I still worked, and I couldn't leave him by himself because he got to where he couldn't do hardly anything. He couldn't turn over in the bed. He was absolutely just his head knowing what was going on, sitting on his body, and he could still manipulate that chair because with his shoulder. So he would do that. He lived through playing games, playing The Sims, and we found out later that the people in The Sims game, when he played that he named them as to whatever movie he had watched that day, and it was always family. But he would have kids, and he would go through, and it would make up all of this, and that was how he kind of lived his life because he couldn't do other things. Even though he still went with his friends came and got him, he would still go to movies, they would take him, and they would use the vans that we had gotten at that time for him. But before that, they'd pick him up and carry him outside and then lay him on the grass, and he'd just be laying looking up, and it was like, what are you doing? And I walked out, I said, God, Tyler, what are you doing on the ground? Travis is loading everything up in the car, and he's like, I'm okay, I'm just fine. Laying right here, and before we got the power chair, we put him in a stroller, in just one of the sling strollers. So Tyler and his friends are at a movie. They're at a premiere. Tyler loved the movies. So they're going to this premiere, and he's sitting in the chair, he's sitting in that little stroller, his knees are up, and he's sitting like this, and Travis said, all of a sudden, he looks up, he looks around, he says, you know what? He said, you all look like two men and a baby. And he said, I'm the baby. With that, they looked and said, you're done. You sit here all night long. We're not bothering you anymore. But just the whole thing of him going downhill, it was very, very slow. And his voice changed within a couple of years. I did not realize that actually until I was trying to prepare for this, and I found a video where he had been interviewed in 2009. So I was listening to it, and I was just like, oh my word, because I had his voice. that was 2 years later. And just the difference in the raspy, just short of breath that would stop. He would start coughing. He would get to where you couldn't hear him. And it was like everything was shutting down, but he still loved to talk. And everywhere he went, somebody knew him, and he was just like, Mr., here I go in the chair. However, it did, he finally went into respiratory failure and was gone in 3 days' time. That once it started, it progressed, and he rolled into the living room and was looking straight up at the ceiling in his chair, and he's sitting directly in front of the TV, and I'm standing in the kitchen like, Tyler, what is wrong? And it was extremely short, shallow breaths with his head cocked back, and he never acknowledged that I was yelling at him. That it was like, okay, wait a minute, what is going on? That was the beginning. He finally turned around and he was like, are you talking to me? I said, I've been standing here screaming at you. I said, what's wrong? And he said, nothing. However, the next day, it was worse. He went to his dad's for the weekend. I called his dad and I was like, how is he? I've not heard from him. And at that point, he said he's bad. So I was like, bring him home. He's not going to do anything. He's not doing anything at your house. He's coming to his house. He's coming where he's lived and where he is. And he came home, he ate and drank. People that die don't eat and drink. They just don't. Because everything is shutting down. So that when Tyler got home that night, he ate, he drank. And I guess he probably knew he wasn't going to have a choice because I was going to put it down him regardless. That it's like, no, you have to have this. But he did. So I'm thinking, you're not going anywhere. You're still going to be here. And at 2:30 that morning, he woke me up and said he needed one of his happy pills. I'm like, okay, we'll get up and get him a pill because he is struggling to breathe. And he looks at me when I get back into the bedroom with him. He's like, how many have you got? I said, I've got one. And he said, I need more. And I said, I'm not giving you more. I said, if I give you more and I overdose you and you die, they'll take me to jail. I said, they've done a lot, and I'm not going to jail at this point in time. So I told him, I said, 30 minutes, you can have it if you want it. I said, but you'll have to wake me out. He ate an entire container of applesauce. I'm thinking to myself, you're not leaving tonight, Buster. You still have some stuff to do. At 10 till 6 that morning, I told him, I said, I've got to roll over. I've got to get off my hip. My left hip has grown to the bed, and I'll never be able to move tomorrow if I don't roll over. And he's like, okay, still with it. I rolled over, gone to sleep, and at 6:05, he died. We had contacted Dr. Tomatsu. Talking to him, it was like, okay, we looked like we're getting kind of close. And then I called him Sunday morning, and I'm like, oh, God, he's gone. Now, what are we going to do? We were going to wait and tie up all the loose strings of Tyler donating his body. And Dr. Tomatsu started trying to make calls. I was making calls. What we ended up and came up with was Tyler was donated to the University of Tennessee. Dr. Tomatsu got the tissues that he needed. But Tyler's permanent home is at UT. We love UT football. Tyler is under Neyland Stadium where UT plays. So every time we go into the stadium, we stomp and we say, Tyler, we're here. If you wondered if we were coming, we're all here. And we stomp because that's where he is. But Dr. Tomatsu received the tissues that hopefully will do something for somebody. Tyler's whole motto was, if it will help one person, it's worth it. It's just all worth it, Mom. If it just helps one person, I don't want somebody else to have to go through what I went through. What I've got here is an because I didn't prepare anything really fancy. It's just a quick video. I'm not going to use the sound with it, just so that you all can see who he was and how he lived his life. He loved living, and he was really proud that he had made it to be 23 years old, that Dr. Covens had told us that he would die in his late teens. Tyler didn't know that until we told him, you got to make a decision when he was turning 18. I shared with him, I said, Dr. Covens said you would not. And so Tyler's whole thing was, I'm showing Dr. Covens. I'm living. I'm going to show Dr. Covens. And he did. He lived. He went to Vegas with 2 of his teachers and a helper, and they had a big time. He did everything that Tyler wanted to do. And if I can't share anything else, the respiratory failure is very real. It's very exciting to hear the tracheal resection, because that would have made a difference. That truly was the one surgery that would have made the difference. The cervical compression could have been fixed, and the rest of it could have been fixed. But it was his trachea that gave out. And it's just exciting to know that there's been a surgery that somebody did. This is just from the time he was little. This is on YouTube. It's under Tyler Crumley. If I can add one more thing, is everybody stay in touch with the families. They will mean more to you than you all can imagine. And even as the kids get older, and as they're gone, we were lucky enough that Tyler's chair is being used by another, when I say kid, that has morquio. She's an adult. However, you have the equipment, and so a very dear friend that we met years ago has Tyler's chair. We have batteries. we pay a lot. That was a crocodile walker. I don't know if y'all are familiar with that. Yeah, we used a regular walker, and that's when he decided I was Attila the Hun. Because I would make him walk with a regular walker, and then when he could use the crocodile walker, he went flying across the floor, and it was like, oh, okay, we are Attila the Hun. There's also more recent pictures of him that his Facebook is still up under Tyler Harrison Crumley, that we have left everything up. We don't want to watch the band.